You also mentioned database update. Yes.
Yeah. So the database, you got to subscribe via Garmin, and it's $300 a year. I don't know if I can transfer the subscription to you. I have no idea. I'll look up with Garmin whether or not I can do that. But I paid for the subscription. It's probably got 6-7 months left on it. So if I can transfer the subscription to you, I'll make sure that gets done.
Yeah. What happens? They just send you an update. You load it.
No, there's a piece of software that you have to. So you take this out.
Yeah.
And you stick this in a computer, the software will find it and say, oh, do you want to put the update on here? Yeah. And then you say yes. And then when you put it in, at boot up, it will identify, oh, hey, there's new databases that are current. Do you want me to load them? And you say yes.
How often do you update it?
Every
Before like major
30 days, basically. In order to fly IFR, it has to be current, right? For VFR, whenever. You don't need it at all. But for IFR, because it needs to be precise, it needs to be updated with obstacles and stuff like that. Yeah. And it needs to be able to warn me of stuff like that. So IFR is every 30 days. Okay.
Maybe we'll keep in touch if I get to IFR before the 7 months period.
Yeah, okay, camera and audio is started. Start. You're buckled, I'm buckled, seat backs are locked, avionics is off. You want to make sure that the avionics are off before you start the engine, because if the avionics are on when you start the engine, it's putting the starter is consuming a large amount of current. Yeah. And then once the alternator gets going, it kicks a large amount of current, and some newer avionics can handle it, but some older avionics would like this might not like that. This might not like that. Yeah. So you always make sure the avionics are off when you start the engine. Okay. So avionics are off, carb heat is off. Mixture is going full rich, throttle, whoops. Throttle is slight, brakes are set, prime. Now I like to do 3 pumps. Now, but the first pump sometimes doesn't do anything, and you'll get a sense for. So I'll just sort of talk you through this. That was nothing. You didn't hear it fill, so that didn't do anything. So here's the second one. Did you hear that? Okay. That's filling with fuel. So that's 1, 2, 3. So I like to do 3 pumps of prime. Now another thing is with the carburetor, this is attached to the carburetor, right? The throttle is attached to the carburetor, and when you push this in, it squirts fuel up through the mouth of the carburetor. So what some people will do, what the previous owner would do, is he would just pump this, instead of priming, he would just pump this 3 times. I prefer to use the prime because it sticks the fuel straight into the cylinder rather than into the carburetor. Okay, so propeller area is clear. Master beacon fuel pump is on. Mags to start. Clear prop. Okay, and I always call clear prop before I engage the magneto. So that's the magneto on, and the push button's over here, and I've got my hand on the throttle. So don't close it yet because it's going to be hot. Let's keep some wind coming in. So max to start. Now I check the oil pressure. Oil pressure is gotta be. It's going to increase as the engine gets warm. But so when the engine is cold, that oil pressure will kick up quickly. It'll kick up into the green quickly. But when the engine is hot, still warm, it'll stay in the yellow when you start it. I just want to make sure it's not stuck at 0. Right? So oil pressure is good. Yeah. Fuel pump goes off. And the fuel pressure should drop a little bit, but it should not go into the red. Okay, fuel pressure is good. Lights are as we need them. And mixture, I'm going to put in a groundling. The groundling is basically, a couple of inches quote. And then pre-taxi. Seatbelts, you're buckled, I'm buckled. Heat that defrost is off, avionics goes on. Now we can put our headsets on.
Check, check, check. Check. Okay, now I'm going to turn the... Oh my goodness, what a difference that makes. Okay, avionics is on, validate the GPS. So the GPS is current until July 13th, and then I'm going to go. Now, if you had databases, you could click this button, and it would say which databases were available, and I can show all, and I can see that, you know, these are the databases that are on this card right now. But I obviously don't need to install any databases. So I'm going to, yellow means it's out of date. But the only database that's required for IFR to be current is the navigation database. Everything else can be, that's up to you. So I'm going to continue, and then this went to half left, and it went to half up. The flag is out of view, and the V flag is also out of view. And so I'm going to set this to 300, and it's 300. That is, that GPS is now validated. Fuel totals. We are at 20.3, and we said we had 19, right? We had 19.5. So this is pretty close. I tend to not reset this until I fill the tank.
Okay.
And I've gotten to the point where I trust the accuracy of this more than I trust the accuracy of me dipping, because there's a lot of variability in the dip, right?
Right.
So fuel totals are set. ATIS and AWAS. Now we got to start doing airport stuff. So the weather is 121.35.
5G NOTAMs in effect. Advise on initial contact information, whiskey.
So information
Ohio
whiskey.
State Tower, information whiskey. 1653 Zulu observation. Wind 220 at 7. Visibility 10 miles. Ceiling 3,500 overcast. Temperature 28. Dew point 20. Altimeter 29908. Expect visual approach or RNAV approach at runway 27 left. Runway 27 left and 27 right in use.
Okay, so we are going to...
departures, announced departure.
So now we're going to be on with
Hazardous
ground as soon as I figure out what
information
ground is. So we went 29908 is our altimeter. I've got a checklist item for the setting up the radios. So ATIS and AWAS is set, altimeter is set, transponder, alt 1200, ADS-B is assumed on, radio we just heard, taxi light we don't have, brakes test. Okay, clear left, clear right, clear forward. Brakes work. And now I'm going to start the track log. It's started. Attitude indicator is stable. Turn coordinator is on and stable. Heading indicator to compass. 30. A little bit on the west side of 30. Okay. Turn coordinator. Heading indicator. Foreflight connected. So Foreflight is connected to the Stratus and the GPS. So in here, you'll go into here. Connect setup. And paired devices, you'll add your device to it, and then you can of course remove mine.
And this allows you to just get the positional data into the.
So it allows you to send the. Foreflight will prefer the positional data of this over the Stratus.
Yeah.
But it also allows you to send flight plans to the panel and receive updates from the panel when flight plans change. So it's pretty useful. So flight plan import is an option. And
okay.
Anyway, I love the ability to connect to this guy.
And the flight plan would include like your waypoints, so you're
yeah.
flying one point.
So let's go to a flight that I've got. Let's say this flight here. This flight was one flight that we did to. I actually don't want to do that flight because it's going to add a whole bunch of user endpoints. But this is the flight that I did here.
Yeah.
So what I would do is I'd say, send this to panel. You notice immediately it says, hey, I got a message. Preview this flight plan. do you want to go from KJQF to KOSU? Yes. There's the flight plan, right? So I can do all my flight planning in here and then just send it to the panel, but I don't want this flight plan because that's obviously not what we're doing. Okay, so where was I? I was in the checklist. We checked Foreflight was connected. I don't have a flight plan. We're just going to go do the a couple of laps in the pattern. Common nav radios. So the ground is 121.7. So this is the way that I tend to do it. You can do it however you want.
Tech information, whiskey.
But I tend to put weather and ground on this radio, and then tower and departure on this radio. So all of my in-air changes are done on this radio, and all of my ground changes are done on this radio, except for weather, right? Weather is one that you get in the air as well. But that's just the way that I do it. You do it how you want to. Okay, so ground is set. Tower is 118.8, and I'm not going to have approach, so I don't need that. So that should be everything I need for that. Let's go back to the checklist. Common nav radios are set. I don't need any screen recording. We're not going to do an instrument flight, so I don't need instrument taxi checks. But we are going to do a run-up. So that I need to do, I'm going to say to ground, Cherokee 6374 Whiskey is at, where would we say?
As the ramp, I would say. We're at the ramp.
At the ramp. VFR would like to do some pattern work, a couple of laps in the pattern.
Traffic.
Would like to do a couple laps in the pattern and then need a run-up is what I would do with that. So this is ground. State, is it state ground? Is that what they say?
Yeah, state ground, yep.
So let's go back into the engine monitor here. State ground, Cherokee 6374 Whiskey.
Cherokee 6374 Whiskey, state ground.
Cherokee 6374 Whiskey is on the ramp in front of the FBO. Would like to do a couple of laps in the pattern. We have Whiskey.
Cherokee 74 Whiskey, runway 27 right, taxi via Alpha Charlie, hold short, runway 27 left.
Alpha Charlie, hold short, 27 left for 27 right, and I'm going to need a run-up, 74 Whiskey. Okay, so we're going to import KOSU. We need the airport. So she said Alpha Charlie.
Yep.
So Alpha and then Charlie, I see it, okay. And hold short of 27 left. Okay, so that's that way, then that way, right?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, I'm skipping the yellow line entirely.
So that's going to be runway 5. So I think, because if you go here, I think we're going to need to cross.
Runway 5.
Yeah, we need to rest. So I don't think that's the way.
Okay.
Well, there is a Charlie taxiway, I think, over there, right?
Yeah.
So.
State ground, Cherokee 6374 Whiskey. Am I cleared to cross runway 5?
Cherokee 74 Whiskey, you shouldn't even be going that way. It should have been a right on Alpha. You're going to come towards the tower, left on Charlie, hold short, runway 27 left.
Okay, so turn around and go the other way. Right on Alpha, left on Charlie, hold short 27 left, 6374 Whiskey. So for me, where I'm sitting, if I look straight down the middle of this vent, the yellow line should be right in the middle of it.
Okay.
And I think that that's true for you too. Is the yellow line in the middle of that vent?
Yeah,
of your vent?
so. Yep.
Yeah. So that's how you know your wheel is on yellow line. And the way you can sort of confirm that is like stick your head in the middle. Okay. Back up to 1,000. Now the for the run-up, the brakes have multiple settings. So this is the first setting.
Yeah.
And you pull it again, and that's the second setting. You need that second setting in order to hold the airplane for the run-up. If you just do it on that first setting, the airplane will move during the run-up.
Okay.
Okay, so checklist. Brakes are set. Fuel is on the proper tank. Flight controls. That goes up and down. That goes up and down. And I have full free and correct movement. Trim. I like to trim like halfway between neutral and here for takeoff. So that's trim for takeoff for me. But you know, you do what works for you.
You do you.
Yeah. Instruments. So instruments. This is
ground, Skyhawk 483.
Set you to
west ramp
there.
Whiskey
That's 0. Or that's stable.
Departure.
That's 0. That's in within 75. That's zeroed. That's zeroed. Engine instruments are all looking good. Mixture is going to go full rich. Fuel tank timer. Now, this I used for a long time. I used this as the fuel tank timer. So it counts up and it drives me nuts. So I reset it and then start the countdown for 30 minutes there. But I don't have this in the new airplane. So what I've been doing is going into this and using this as a fuel tank timer. But again, you can do whatever you want. Primer is locked, and we're going to do 2,000 RPM. Okay, so there's 2 checks that you need to do when you're doing the mag check. The first is, and most important, is when you check on one mag, all of the exhaust gas temperature should go up. And they all go up. And then when you go back to both, they will very, very slowly recover. Now you also felt and could see a RPM check, but this is a much more thorough check that you don't have a problem with a plug. So we're going to go check the right mag, and all the EGTs go up, and then the RPM recovers, and then carb heat. We see a small dip there, and then the carb. You can see the carb temperature is going up, and then when you turn it off, the carb temperature goes down and the RPM recovers. Suction is at suction. This is the suction that's running these 2 things.
Right.
So you want it between like 4 and 6 basically. So it's at 5.4.
Yeah.
Amps are generating. Volts are 13.2. Oil pressure is green. Fuel pressure is green. Oil temperature is green. And we're going to now check idle. You want to make sure that the airplane doesn't shut off when you pull it all the way to idle.
With full ridge.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Idle is good, and now back to the checklist. Mags check, carb, vacuum, amps, fuel pressure, oil temperature, idle, mixture, friction lock, and I don't need to text anyone or get an IFR clearance. Okay, so now we are going to go hold short of 2-3. And so is this is not 2-7.
No, so, nope, but we are, yeah, it's this runway that's perpendicular. 2-7
is that way?
45.
Okay.
It's that one. This is 2-3.
Okay. Okay, so radio, we still need to be on ground. Flaps are up. Mixture is full rich.
When we call for takeoff, we do it on tower.
Yeah, but
okay.
she told us to hold short of 2-3. Doesn't she need me, or am I holding short of 2-7 here?
When 2-3 is this way, so you're right, we gotta hold short here. Normally, however, when we get a clearance from here, because essentially it's down there.
So we'd say we're holding short of 2-3.
You're new, and I'm not 100% sure you call on ground. It's the same guy.
No, I'm gonna call tower and let them know I'm holding short, but I'm gonna go through my checklist first.
Yeah.
Mixture is full rich, fuel pump goes on. Carb heat is off. Pitot heat is off. Transponder is alt 1200. Heading bug, we're going to have that on the 2-7. Circuit breakers, re-verify. They're all good. Doors and windows, you got that door. I'm going to close this window.
Now this again, it's...
Yeah, that's fine.
That's
good.
Fine.
This is the most important thing.
Okay.
Doors and windows, beacon is on, landing light is on, and we are ready to go.
You want me to hold that for you?
No.
I got it.
Leave it right here, and we're going to put this right here on takeoff. Let's do the takeoff checklist. We are going to go full throttle, look for 2275, check pressures, rotate at 60, climb out at 85. We're going to get rid of you because we don't want you there. State Tower, Cherokee 6374 Whiskey, holding short of 23, ready.
Cherokee 6374 Whiskey, State Tower. Cross runway 23, runway 27 right, clear for takeoff. Enter right closed traffic. Report midfield.
Cross runway 23, runway 27 right, clear for takeoff. Right closed traffic, report midfield. 6374 Whiskey. Okay,
So that one over there.
Okay, so
Yep.
This is 27 right.
Yep.
Okay. I see. Okay, I am now lined up. Set the brake. Double check the DG.
State Tower, 69 Delta's with you.
Gonna be
inbound
there.
on
That's
the
runway
RNAV
heading.
27 left
We're
road,
clear for
27
takeoff.
right.
Okay. So slowly to full power. We are making 2275. Temperatures and pressures are in the green. Airspeed is alive, that's 40. 50.
And November 3,
60, and rotate.
State Tower, runway 27 left, clear to land.
27 left, clear to land, 69 Delta.
So we're going to climb out at 85. The airplane sounds so different with this headset on. So field elevation was like 900.
Yep.
So 1600 is about where we're gonna do our right crosswind turn. Traffic pattern altitude is about is.
It is. Yes. Correct. But they normally don't want you to get too far past the river, which is right there.
Okay. Well, then I'll turn right in advance. Most of the time, traffic pattern is.
State Tower, Skyhawk 75746, inbound for landing with information whiskey, about 8 miles northwest of the field.
Most of the time, traffic pattern, they want you to make your crosswind turn at 300 feet below traffic pattern.
And report 350 inbound for 27 left, Skyhawk 75746. Tower 69 Delta.
November 69 Delta.
Okay, so there's pattern altitude. We're going to pull it down to 2300. Trim. And report midfield.
Alright, Columbus Tower, State Tower 69.
November 3569 Delta, State Tower, go ahead.
Drop off.
State Tower, Cherokee 6374 Whiskey, midfield, right downwind, runway 27 right.
Cherokee 74 Whiskey, runway 27 right, clear touch and go.
Runway 27 right, clear touch and go, 6374 Whiskey.
November 69 Delta,
So
State
there
Tower,
is
out
a
of here.
beam. We'll pull it down to 1600. Then we've got a descent, so we can put in a notch of flaps.
69 Delta, your radios keep breaking up.
Yeah, we have an electrical problem, battery low, so just want to let you know in case we drop off. Tower 483 just off, holding short at 27 left, and I don't know if you heard Delta over there, but we turned our squelch up. He said he has a battery problem, and he's letting you know just in case it cuts off.
land number 436 Golf, Roger, thank you. I caught that last part when he said just a hold short, runway 27 left for rapid traffic.
Hold short, 27 left, 36 Golf.
Okay, second notch. Got the arriving traffic in sight. A little bit high. So we're going to use 3 notches. Help slow us down. So at this point, I want to be about 75, so I'm a little bit fast, so I'm going to trim up and get my airspeed where I want it. There, 75. Oh, not a great landing. Flaps down. Full throttle. There's 60 and rotate. So that landing, the problem was I was 100 feet high at a beam, and it just translated all the way through as a problem all the way to the end.
9 Delta, turn left, runway 23 out to park.
State Tower, Skyhawk, step by, step 46 to 315 Golf, sir.
Skyhawk 4836 Golf, State Tower, runway 27 left, clear for takeoff, flat runway heading.
27 left, clear for takeoff, runway heading, 36 Golf.
Skyhawk 75746, State Tower, runway 27 left, clear to land.
27 left, clear to land, Skyhawk, step by, step 46.
So, do you feel comfortable that the airplane's performing as you expected? That I didn't take anything from it?
Yeah.
Okay, good, because I'm going to request a full stop on this one.
Okay. You can request to switch the runway also. That way you don't have to taxi back. For 27 left. They'll give it to you.
Okay, there's pattern altitude.
Cherokee 74 Whiskey, runway 27 right, clear, touch and go.
Runway 27 right, clear, touch and go. I'd like to make this a full stop if possible.
Cherokee 74 Whiskey, roger, and are you doing a full stop, taxi back to the runway or back to park?
Back to park, 74 Whiskey.
And November 74 Whiskey, roger, you'll be following a Skyhawk, change to runway 27 left. He's now in right base, about a 2-mile funnel.
Traffic in sight, we'll follow the Skyhawk for 27 left, 74 Whiskey.
Cherokee 74 Whiskey, roger, follow that traffic, runway 27 left, clear to land, number 2.
Number 2, runway 27 left, clear to land, 6374 Whiskey. Now I'm 200 feet high.
Yeah, be careful of that. West Charlie, 2,500 feet.
Okay. So my general rule when I'm doing this is as soon as they dip under my wing, that's when I make my turn. But I'm going to start descending here. Not that fast. 1 notch.
State Tower, Howard Helicopter 905 Romeo Zulu with Whiskey.
Helicopter 905 Romeo Zulu, stay tower. Go ahead.
Yes, sir, just lifted OSU Hospital and inbound to John Scott there for fuel.
Final looks clear.
And helicopter 905 Romeo Zulu, roger. You proceed inbound for your left base, runway 27 left.
Proceeding inbound for left face to 27 left, 5 Romeo Zulu. Tower helicopter 944, Mike Echo.
Helicopter 944 Mike Echo, stay tower.
I definitely need to slow down here.
Mike Echo with information Whiskey down here on the FBO ramp, returning to Riverside.
November 75746, turn left at Charlie, Alpha to Park, monitor ground point 7.
And Charlie Alpha to Park, monitor ground on point 7, Skyhawk 75746. Sea Tower, Archer 9114 Delta, 8 miles to the southwest, inbound full stop.
Helicopter 944 Mike Echo, you taxi via Alpha, cross runway 5, and once west of runway 5, clear for takeoff, direct to Riverside is approved.
Taxi west of Hive,
And he's clear.
5, clear for takeoff, low Mike Echo to Riverside.
And November 9114 Delta State Tower, enter the left downwind runway 27 left, report midfield.
Entering left downwind 27 left, report midfield 9114 Delta.
Ooh. That was a better landing. Okay, open the door, please. Because it gets hot in here.
Cherokee 74 Whiskey, turn left at Charlie, Alpha to Park, monitor ground point 7.
Left of Charlie, Alpha to Park, monitor ground point 7. Thanks for your help. 7-4 Whiskey.
Hey, Tower helicopter 5 Romeo Zulu, left base for 27 left.
Okay, monitor ground point 7. We'll go.
Helicopter 5 Romeo Zulu.
I actually don't need this. Okay, clear to the left, clear to the right. Now where is this your hangar where you normally park? Where is your club?
The club is where that sock is.
Oh, okay.
But where I normally would be parking is out there.
Okay. So I'm going to park back exactly where I was.
Yep.
So let's see how much that cost us in fuel. That cost us 2.3 gallons in fuel used, so not too bad. I just killed the fuel pump and landing light because
No need.
no need, but it's in my checklist, so. So, why don't you run me through the after landing checklist?
Okay, flaps up. Carb,
Check. Carb heat.
heat off.
Check.
Fuel pump off.
Check.
Strobes off, but you're gonna
Yep. Check.
landing light off.
Check.
Taxi light as required.
Check.
Pitot heat off.
Check.
Mixture as required.
Full rich. Check.
Trim takeoff.
Okay, transponders alt 1200. Check.
And the trim for takeoff.
Oh, trim for takeoff. Yeah. Okay, trim is set
Yep.
for takeoff.
And then transponder.
Yep,
Alt
that-
and squawk.
Yep. Okay. Then
That's it.
securing.
Verify ELTs.
Okay, so the way that we do that is 121.5, and listen, and I don't hear the whoop 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 whoop, so that means the ELT is fine.
Okay.
So-
Avionics off. That
no, but
makes-
what I'm gonna do is I have a step in here that says measure how much fuel I took. So the fuel totalizer says 2.4 gallons and 17.9 left. Okay. And then next.
Avionics off.
It's actually mixture cold mean and mags off. Master off. Yep.
Secure yoke.
Yep, that's in there. So this is just a generic bungee cable or bungee cord that cost $5. Like the ones that say aviation cost $90. So,
But it's the same idea.
it's basically the same idea. I gotta turn this off. And then I need that, and I need to pack up these. Here is your key, yeah.
You're talking about these buttons too. If you got some mail, maybe.
Yeah,
If you find
they're new. I mean, they're like $10 for $10 on Amazon. They're ridiculously cheap.
That's probably better just buy more than, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe you can send me the link first.
it probably cost me less to buy them for you on Amazon than to
ship it.
ship it myself. Okay, closing that up, closing that up.
There's no like little lock or anything on this.
No, no, there used to be, but something happened and it stopped working.
One quick question. When you were, so I didn't have two radios before. So how are you switching back?
Okay, so this determines where your mic is going to. Com 1, Com 2. So right now, mic is on Com 1.
Okay, let me see. Okay, so Com 1, Com 2.
Com 2. I don't have a Com 3.
Okay, so Com 1, Com 2.
Now, if I want to listen, if I want to stay my mic on Com 1, or Com 2, but listen to Com 1, I press that. So let's turn the avionics, master avionics, and we'll put it through the speaker. So right now, this is tower. We're talking to tower. But if we wanted to like listen to the weather, what is it? 121.35.
Yeah.
So
5G nodems in effect.
now I can listen to it
Advise on
without
contact
talking
information
to it.
with
Transmission will go here, right? Because that's where transmission is. And you can see what I'm hearing. This tells you what I'm listening to, and this tells you what I'm talking to. So if I switch this,
wind 220 at
I can't turn off Com 1 because this locks Com 1 on for listening.
Ceiling
But that's
3,500
now I'm
overcast.
monitoring and listening to Com 2.
Temperature 28.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'll have to like grab. I mean, I get the general thing.
Altimeter,
You just have to grab all of this,
29er.
but yeah. So two radios. This panel allows you to switch between
Yes,
the two.
yes. And then
you
that
got speaker,
talks to the speaker.
distance measuring equipment.
I don't have a DME or ADF.
So
I don't
those are
have
used-
marker beacons in here, or I don't know what ICS is.
Okay.
But you would, like if you were going to validate a BOR,
Yeah.
you'd tune it here, and then this has to be pulled out to ident,
Yeah.
and then you listen, that listens to the VOR on nav 1.
So you have to turn on that one to listen.
Yeah,
and
to listen, and then pull. Well, what this will do is this will do the squelch, so that
Yeah.
you can hear the
right,
the Morse.
code. Yeah.
And then the same thing down here. If you want, you tune the VOR here, pull this to ident, and then pop that
Okay. And their DM or the VOR
So
is always
this-
slave to it.
down. This one is slaved to this CDI.
Yeah.
This CDI is here. There's this is only a
Digital.
right left CDI. You don't have vertical guidance like you have on this one.
Okay.
And then this one is slave to this.
Okay. So these two, and this is by itself.
Right. Correct.
Okay. And your this one was the engine monitor.
That's the engine monitor. Yeah. So if we
the other one was
the other one is the voltage regulator for the alternator.
Is that the thing you would pull if you're having problems with the alternator to
I
reset?
have no idea why the voltage regulator has a circuit breaker. I don't know, but
Okay. But normally you would reset just the mags. I know.
yeah, normally you just reset the mags.
Okay.
Okay, so let me pack up and get some stuff out of here. Oh, the other thing is, like when you park
Yeah.
at a place like this,
Yeah.
they may move the airplane around.
Oh.
I have in my checklist something that says release brake.
Okay.
Because they may say, oh, hey, we need to make space for something, so they'll come over and pull the airplane around. And if the brake is on,
right,
they don't give a damn about the tires.
Yeah, just drag it.
They care about always release the brake.
And you got the tow bar right away. Right?
Yeah, the tow bar is right back here. And since almost nobody ever sits in the back, I just leave it here.
Yeah. Did you have, what's the most people you've had in here?
I've had 3 people in here.
Yeah.
Me and 2 passengers. But the 2 passengers were teeny. We're little, like, one was like 100 pounds, the other was 140.
Yeah.
So they were not big people.
Yeah.
But
how many people do you think you could take? Like 160 pounds?
So it depends on how much fuel you have. You have 840 pounds to use.
Yeah.
However, between fuel, people, baggage. Right? So
I'm just curious, performance-wise, even if you could do it.
So we were at almost full fuel, taking off, and I was at about 2,000 feet before I wasn't able to climb 500 foot per minute.
Okay.
So, so
takeoff was more or less okay, but
my climb, takeoff was fine. Climb performance was pretty abysmal.